Hello, welcome to another of my videos where I work through and explain A-level Physics multi-choice questions. If you want to try to answer this question yourself, pause the video now. If you got the answer B, give yourself a pat on the back, well done. If you'd like to hear my explanation of how I found the answer, please continue watching. So we have a muon and an electron, and they're travelling at the same speed. Which rho gives the particle with the greater kinetic energy and the particle with the longer de Broglie wavelength? So let's look at the equations that give us the kinetic energy. That's just kinetic energy. It's a half multiplied by the mass multiplied by the velocity squared. And the de Broglie wavelength is given by the Planck constant divided by the mass and the velocity of the object. Mass times velocity of the object is, of course, the momentum of the object as well. So, mu and electron are travelling at the same speed, so we're not going to have to think how velocity affects either the kinetic energy or the de Broglie wavelength. So the difference between their kinetic energies and the de Broglie wavelengths will be down to their mass. Well, the datasheet does give you the mass of the electron, it doesn't give you the mass of the muon. So I'm looking at this part of the datasheet, and that tells you the rest energy of the electron and the rest energy of the muon. Well, the rest energy of an object is literally the energy due to its mass. It's the energy it has due to that most famous of equations, E equals mc squared. So the bigger the rest energy, the bigger the mass of an object. And you can see an electron has a rest energy of about 0.5 mega electron volts, but a muon has a rest energy more than 200 times greater at 1.05 mega electron volts. So the muon has a much bigger mass than the electron, which means it's going to have a larger kinetic energy. So the muon has the biggest kinetic energy. But if we look at the equation for the de Broglie wavelength, the wavelength is inversely proportional to the mass. So that larger mass of the muon means it's going to have a smaller de Broglie wavelength. So the electron is going to have the larger wavelength. So greater kinetic energy is the muon, longer de Broglie wavelength is the electron. So the one line that gives both answers correct, answer B. If you found this useful, please press the like button. All and any comments will be welcome, and I hope you share this video and watch more in the series.